They're doctors who have benefited personally in their own life, either themselves getting rid of cancer or close people in their family, and they will not go back to prescribing chemo and radiation. They're doctors who have benefited personally in their own life, either themselves getting rid of cancer or close people in their family, and they will not go back to prescribing chemo and radiation.
They quit being doctors when they stopped searching for other things and just kept going by protocol.
There's certainly a lot of suggestive evidence that something is going on. So the real question is, what is going on? Why is it that people who have low levels of radiation seem to have unexpectedly high survival rates and low levels of cancer? One possible explanation of radiation hormesis is that normal background levels of radiation and even the heat of your body cause DNA damage which can lead to cancer. And if it occurs, if these bad bits of DNA damage occur in a section of the DNA that's packaged inside the protein so that it's hard for the repair enzymes to get to it, it just sits there until it can produce a mutation that can lead to cancer or some other problem. If, however, you have just a small level of radiation, not enough to really damage the DNA, but enough to set off the DNA repair mechanisms, then what it does is it starts the automatic sequence of events that releases the DNA from its protein cage, examines it, repairs it, and then puts it back in the protein cage. If you start this with just enough radiation to get this going, potentially, and this is unproven, but potentially what could be happening is that you are repairing not only the small amount of damage caused by the background radiation, but you're also repairing the amount of damage that's caused by normal wear and tear, heat of the body, background radiation from some other source, free radicals from the food you ate, any of these things. And so it will repair damage that is ordinarily unrepaired. Now, this is a hypothesis, but there is some small evidence on that. We did some research years ago on 240 human beings, and we exposed their white blood cells to low levels of radiation. And what we found was that people who had been, about 85% of the people who had been exposed to low levels of radiation, their white blood cells, after it was repaired, the DNA packaging, the shape of the DNA was actually in slightly better shape than it was before the radiation. So we know that there is a mechanism that takes low levels of radiation and repairs it and restores it to a better state than it had been in before.
Well, do we need to worry about nuclear terrorism?
People have every right to say, hey, tell me what happens if that happens. You can define a bad situation by two things: molten fuel, you know, that's obviously the first thing that has to have a problem, and on top of that, a flawed containment, so that the containment won't even hold pressure, okay? I'll give you both of those. I won't argue about how I got there. How bad is it? And the answer is few, if any, deaths. And we published that. Nobody could find any flaws in it. And so they go on talking about you know, massive evacuation and containment leak rate studies and all this stuff, which has nothing to do with the real world.
In Branson, Missouri, I was speaking at a medical convention. I get down, the one lady's so excited, she says, Jay, now you've got them. You can go after the AMA and the FDA. I says, oh, hold on a second. Why would you bring that on yourself? Here's what we do is exactly what we're doing here. We go out there and we heal as many people as we can. We educate as many people as we can. We get the ball rolling so big that they can't stop it. That's about where it is now. educate as many people as can. We get the ball rolling so big that they can't stop it. That's about where it is now.